Good evening from InvestSharp. This is Randy Smotone with your Wednesday, June 23rd market update. On the economic front, the monthly new home sales for May were down 32.7%. Pretty bad. Worst May on record. Estimate was for down 20%, so it was expected to be down, but that was a pretty bad number. Weekly petroleum status report showed a 2 million barrel build in oil, and oil went lower today, and which has been kind of struggling to get above that $80 mark anyway. FOMC meeting announcement on the Fed funds rate. Of course, it was no change in the Fed funds rate. I'll go over a piece of the statement here in a second. On deck for tomorrow are the weekly jobless claims. Estimate is for 465,000. We'll get the monthly durable goods orders. Estimate is for minus 0.5%, and we'll get the weekly nat gas report. One of the changes in the statement, which sounds like the Fed's a little more concerned about our economic growth, is, and this is a quote here, financial conditions have become less supportive of economic growth on balance, largely reflecting developments abroad. Bank lending has continued to contract in recent months. Nonetheless, the committee anticipates a gradual return to higher levels of resource utilization in a context of price stability, although the pace of economic recovery is likely to be moderate for a time. That didn't sound very positive to me. So the dollar, gold, silver, copper, and oil were down. Light sweet crude futures were down $1.50 to settle at 76.35 a barrel. And I'm not going to take a look at the West Texas Intermediate Crude point and figure chart. There's really no change there. The UUP, the dollar ETF, we've still got support here. Pulled back a little today, but we're just hanging around right there. Let's take a look at the Dow. Dow closed up 4 points to 10,298. S&P closed down 3 points to 1,092. Nasdaq closed down 7 points to 2254, and the Russell closed down 1 point to 644. Dow held up the best, up 0.05%. The Nasdaq was the weakest, down 0.33%. Volume remained kind of, I guess, the new summer volume. It was about 15 to 20% below normal, which is a little better than it has been on some days. Let's see, the Dow. So this candle here, pretty neutral. Just a doji, just kind of neutral on buying and selling here, and trying to hold. This looks like it's trying to hold around this support area that we've been at before in this area. Let's look at the. So the Dow is below its 200. And it, still it closed that way yesterday. Let's look at S&P. S&P's below the 200. Nasdaq set right on top of the 200-day moving average today, as well as the Russell. The Russell was also caught right here by the 200-day, which is these black lines. So they're setting on their 200 days. SPX, looking at the 60-minute chart. No change here really. Now this MACD going lower than here makes me think, we might get a bounce up in here, but I don't know. I still think probably going to go lower over time. May not, like I said, be a big fall, but looks pretty, looks possible lower to me. And we hit up here. We've had all this resistance. Of course, we'll see what happens here over the next couple of days. And typically the day after Fed is a weak day in the market, so we'll see if tomorrow, if that rings true, just like today held up pretty well. Typically a Fed day holds up pretty well, if not in the green. So Russell, 60-minute chart. So here on June 21st, we've hit this here. We've hit, so I kind of drew this trend line to see if this is around the 650, which we almost got there. We were at what, 650.04 was the high right here. So that 650 was possible, some new resistance here. We'll see if that holds true. But the right here, I mean, it's just consolidated sideways. We got a little bounce, had a piercing line type. This is on 60-minute, piercing line candle here, and then we just basically chopped around sideways. Look at gold. Gold, it is holding its uptrend line. It's fighting. Silver, still above the 30-day moving average, and I mean, it still looks fine for now. It did make a lower high, which you have to watch to see if that's see what happens here. Maybe this is turning into a triangle. Copper still, not looking too great. Below its 30-day moving average. Let's look at the VIX. Whoops, volatility index. Downtrend line, we hit it here, we got rejected here. So volatility wasn't that volatile today. Not really volatile day in the market. So the MACD, is really low here though. So you would think we'd have a continued bounce. So we'll be watching to see if the VIX breaks out above this high today of about 28.55 here in the next couple of days. FXE Euro. Euro is holding this, around the 120, 135 or so support area. So we're not moving much on the euro, just like the dollar. It's not moving a whole lot right now. Let's take a look at the McClellan index. Pretty much neutral, -2. I'm neutral, not overbought, not oversold, so we're neutral there. Let's take a look at the core sectors. 6 of the 16 sectors have all finished in the green today. The home construction index had the larger percent gain, up 2.3%. The software index was the weakest, down 1.26%. And at first I was kind of surprised the home construction index was doing so well after that horrible new home sales number. But if you really look at the home builders, they all got a pop today. I mean, they've been selling off since the end of April, beginning of May. So they've been selling and selling and selling. So, they're pretty oversold, so they were kind of due for a pop. So I think that's why there was one today. Nice pop in the home builders. Let's over to Chart Watch. So I still like this, SH, this short S&P 500. It's not double leveraged. I still kind of like that, especially if you want to use it to protect your portfolio. You could own some shares of that. I still, InvestSharp, we're still in this IWM. We have puts, the July 64 puts, I believe. We've been in them since up here around the 67.50, 68 level. ESI, still like this one short. It's pretty weak. COG. It's looking pretty nasty, so I like it short. CMG, this MACD typically works pretty well for me on when it breaks down from where it's touched here in the last couple of times. I think this is going to lose its uptrend. I know that it's a good company. It had great earnings, but I still think, depending on what the market does, it's going to, it hasn't lost 30 in like forever. Back here in January 2010, and we haven't lost its 30-day moving average on CMG. And all this is wedge. So I don't know. Keep an eye, because it's probably going to get hit pretty hard if it takes out that uptrend line. Probably hit pretty hard to the downside. XEC, it's holding up. It's holding support there. You might also watch the uptrend line near 70. GPI, it's another one I like short for just, it's lost this trend line. This support area. It's been in for quite a while, and it just had a lot of selling. It's had a lot of selling. It tried to stabilize today, so I don't know. I think it's worth watching for a further short for more downside. KMX, CarMax, replacing XTO in the S&P 500 index, broke out above the downtrend line, also had earnings and huge move higher. One to watch. This Neenah paper, it's still got support there. I like it, but if they start beating up lumber, they probably go after the paper companies as well. So keep an eye on the lumber as well. Coal got a nice bounce today. BTU's looking pretty good, nice bounce. ACI got a bounce. Walter, I like Walter if you can get above the downtrend line best here, but both, those bounce and they all should bounce together, so keep an eye on those. Apache's trying to hold this support area, so you could buy it and use today's low, a little below today's low as your stop. I think it would be worth a try. With the hot summer, this nat gas and coal should do pretty well. Acme Packets holding up pretty well. JBL on earnings took out the downtrend line. Nice move up. Medifast, watch for a breakout here. It is replacing Acuity Brands in the S&P Small Cap 600 Index. So it got a pop today. I like this CAVM. I have been liking it. CBI got a nice pop today. Still like it. A lot of these Chinas I like. Sienna's still looking all right. Rhino's looking pretty good. C-Trip's looking pretty good. Baidu's looking pretty good. CAAS is looking pretty good. Akamai is still holding up all right. FFIV still holding up. This little MTL, as long as it holds this uptrend line, which it's trying to do, kind of like it. I still like this one. It's holding up well. Apple pulled back some, but it's still holding support, so it's worth a watch. And Cirrus Logic still holding up pretty well, and then SanDisk, as long as it holds its uptrend line. All right, over to the current market signals. Follow the point figure charts for the Dow, Nasdaq, and S&P. So far they're still on buy signals. We need to sell off quite a bit more to get these back on sell signals. And there's no changes here with these. So we'll see how the market plays out in the next couple of days. I'm not, unless you're day trading, it's really good for that. It's not very good for investing or swing trading right now. It's hard to figure out. I'm feeling lower than higher, but we'll see if that plays out. Alrighty, that's it for today. Thanks for watching.